with the AWP, and that might just very well be bad news. There's only 20 seconds here. They really can't afford to lose time to finding him. Grenades raining in, he lines them up and gets the first shot through, looking for a bit more. That's the bomb down on attacker Guardian. He has no mercy at all. He gets that flick, oh my god, takes down Didi, and now it's a 2 versus 3. They got 5 seconds, 4 seconds, they can't get the bomb down. Here it goes, Guardian knocking Tai Lu out with an ace at the end. What a way to finish, 16-5. The monster is back. They had the right idea, but they still weren't. Oh, well, Rubino catching seized in transition. And Guardian, it is a style kill there coming through. Followed up as well. Still another 2 to go. Guardian now with a triple. Just what the hell is going on? There should be no way. 1 versus 4 with an AWP. They know where you're coming from. He's going to tap the bomb once. Rubino, is he tempted to go out? He's going to be walking in. Guardian turning around. He sees him. Oh, my God. Guardian, it can't be real. Picks it up. Unleashed. And that is going to be one of the most ridiculous 1v4s I've seen in a long time. He charges the ramp with a sniper rifle.
to a larger degree now. Is look at these guys on the minimap there. They're starting to fall back. They're going in towards it, but Guardian sees it, picking up that kill here now. Able to drop down on Fur. He's lost some teammates, but he's going to try to even it back out again. They come back in there through Ivy. Cold finding an opening kill here once again from LG, but there's another shot from Guardian. That's the one we like to see. He shuts down Taco, but still, the rest of his team is making progress. In LG, they've switched up. Now they're going over here towards the inside yard. They've already got full control of this, and it falls to Guardian. He cannot do this. He's only at 11 HP. So again, Na'Vi have to fall back, and they have to save this up for the final round.
Yeah, I mean, complete and utter chaos coming in from Luminosity, just hitting every single point of the map. And Guardian getting that kill on Fallen. But yeah, not much for Guardian to do that. He was just completely sandwiched, and now we're just getting caught off guard everywhere.
So hopefully Guardian, he's actually the only player in his team that was able to pick up kills this round. Almost an ace too, which would actually be pretty amazing to see, but I don't think Cold is going to be able to catch him in time. He's going fast about it now, so they might actually get themselves into a little bit of a duel. They want to try and drop that. He is expecting to come back up here, and he grabs it.
Close quarters with a P250. Anything is possible. Anything is possible! Mid-air headshot. Takes down Olaf, and now a 1v2. Again, Guardian, can you make it happen this time? It's the quick scope! This is unreal! He has no idea where Crims is playing from, though, and that's the one thing going Fnatic's way. Crims stomping around, though, and Guardian's heard it. Can he get the shot? It's going to be point blank. Boom! Insane!
I was getting so excited, I was like, oh, that's a keen lineup. Where are you taking me? In the meantime, Guardian's going aggressive. 2, not 3. He does! He's just shattering their hopes and dreams on long. Titanfall is a different game, and now it's all on to Shocks. Wow, what a showing there from Guardian. Completely shutting down Titan just as they start to get a sniff of the cheese, as it were. And now Shocks, well, he's going to try and pull out some of his own Parmesan, some of his own brand now. 1v5 with the AWP in hand. Will he hold on to it? Probably no point now. Too easy to catch the man. He does take down C's. That's one. I'm chalking it up. But Guardian gets the ace, and he's going to shut Titan back down and put him in their place.
He's given up on Pit. Hasn't been favorable to him in the last 3 rounds. This time, a better position, but he's still traded back. Nico with the kills. Rez again on rotation, and it's down to Guardian, who has to plant default. As Rez runs behind him fast as he dares, slows up just in time because Guardian was ready and waiting. In fact, he's getting impatient, and he wants to be aggressive in the post play. Oh! Guardian, my man! What a shot as he finds Rez, and he goes back for more! He's even quicker against Draken, and that is why he is a legend!
Is he doing this again? No, he's not. He's moving. He's running around. It's good. He's got legs. Zaz is actually the one that's playing a little more scared, but what a shot was that? That was sick!
That was pretty sick. Congratulations, Zaz. We're going to overtime.
Oh.
Coming up short.
Can I take him? Please?
No.
Jag sa ingenting. Du håll...
Väldigt mörkt.
Där.
Nice.
Bra. I'm close door.
Nice.
Et HP. En dør.
Kan du holde vindu? Begge. Ja.
Mørk.
Fuck mitt liv. Holy shit!
What side? A side. There's no one.
Okay, I'm going out.
What? He's maybe in A main, I don't know. Dead, sure.
Got that. One more car.
Where is
Behind A main.
Dead. Come down.
I'm
coming A main.
Dead CT. One is Troy.
Okay.
Back for A main.
Jamen super.
And
En
CT.
spawn også. En spawn.
Baby.
Lad os gøre A main.
Ace.
Hey.
Okay.
Julian.
I'm not gonna be sneaky. Oh, they're coming B.
They're out, dude. They're out.
Oh shit.
Really?
Oh my god. Honestly.
Window.
Yeah, I'm blind.
Oh fuck.
One dark.
Ja.
Sighted.
Door.
Oh my god.
That was...
What the fuck?
Где-то на меду что ли был?
На один. Вас на...
Я уже убила, вас на меду.
Окей.
В Зиге. Хорош. Ебать, я раздала только что, как батя.
Nice
down.
Flanking lower.
You go get him.
One mid.
He's mid. Oh, he's...
Nice!
He has 10 HP.
Whatever it is.
He's
Where is he?
somewhere. He was mid.
Woo!
Green line right in front of you. That one B.
coming.
Yep, smash.
Yeah, I'm leaving grab.
Oh my. Ace? Is this it? That's awesome!
Oh, they're smoking me out. Bad, so bad.
Oh god.
Can be true. Smoke this up?
Yeah, I'm rotating. If I get a smoke myself, I'm
Spoiler.
guessing it's gonna be it.
Matty for the 5 there.
Lost in the middle.
It was 2 steps. Oh, never
Oh,
mind.
that's nice. That's nice.
Ah, let me! Ah, let me! No, he's digged!
He's picking you. Rip.
Oh!
What?
Oh!
Oh my god.
LOL!
Oh my god. Oh!
Nice!
One
I
more
lied.
point. Yes, go.
Yes! Fuck yeah! Woohoo! Yay! No, I do have an oak skin. I can use it after this. They're smoking out. They're coming in, I think. They're out. Oh. Боже, что со мной происходит?
100% all the way. That's the only way.
Do you play on Digital Vibe?
100%.
Are you Digital Vibe as well?
80%.
80? I
always
think
been
Cold
100.
Zero said he's 89.
Yeah, I just loved how like almost cartoony it looked when he got to 100. It was just it was pretty cool. I liked it.
I didn't think you were a cartoon kind of guy. You're usually
Playing it without digital vibrance once you're used to it is just impossible.
It looks like black and white.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do it because
It was horrible afterwards.
I just can't do it.
Oh! What?
bottom now, Shazam! Take a
What
shot.
is that? We came in with an absolute start. Look at her, she's just like, whatever.
I want dinked in sight.
Oh my god, what there is the jungle?
Okay, wait.
One jungle. Oh my gosh. Oh no, my ace! Let me get my ace. Let me get my ace. Yeah!
Yeah, connector.
One jungle.
One dead jungle.
All connected.
One more dead. One more dead. LOL, that ace! I did the wall headshots. I told you I was gonna play USB.
Головой надо подружить. Можно шутить смешно, а можно нет. Вот в твоем случае это нет.
How did we not check that?
The defuse coming on in Rafters finds the first, now fades away. And all of a sudden, this is a bit threatening, especially as she gets that second and the third as well. Kath, what are you doing? This is insane. It's a one-on-one. It's all on Zaz. She goes to fake out the defuse and Kath has done so much work. There it is. That's the fourth. And oh my God, Hugo Byron, what was that?
No, it was on him. That was him just shooting.
Oh my god.
Enormen.
En upp på TV. Två, tre upp på TV. Enormen.
De är samma.
En CV tror jag. Man får bara hitta den där.
Pit position is still in play at the moment in the form of Zaz. Nade will come and do a nice amount of damage. They still have an incendiary to look to force her out of position. And there, that goes in, but it doesn't actually hit the mark, I don't think. Not quite going to push her out. She'll go for the peak. It will be lost, but Vilga's actually going to get one back. Gets the second as well. And the third for Vilga. Cleans up all of the frags. That's going to be 8-1 now.
Hey. Honestly, what's your RWS? Let me stats you. Let me stats you real quick.
I'm so bad.
I get 2 Glocked. Literally no chance. Playing against Fur. You just... whatever.
30 backstabber right, he's gonna know all about it. Great stuff now, the advantage for London Conspiracy. They're hoping to get that defuse. Juliano does have Molly off. No smoke on the CT side.
Good crossfire as well. If Mimi 2K could get this first frag, won't be doing so, and Giuliano's left alone. That Molotov's gonna burn, but 2 HP remaining on her, and I mean she goes in for one. Time is ticking, and now Cindy, she's trying to go for the backstab, has to run for it.
Oh my God!
Gives away her position, and Giuliano's ready for it with 2 HP remaining. Can I say that? 2 HP remaining. They could have just faked the defuse and got the frag.
Only going to manage to get one. They've done a little bit of extra damage. There is only 20 seconds left on the clock, and there is still Julie waiting around the smoke. Now, she's going to try her best to deny this plant, but can't quite find anyone, leaving just Kelly to try and push back in. And I don't think she's going to be finding anything else.
No, seems like it'll all be over. Fairly clean for Team Secret, and I like that considering they walk into a stack and still only lose 2 players on the back of that. So going to start to maintain the T-side economy early, or apparently not, as Kelly drops another player, goes in for more. That's a lot of damage onto Antika. These 2 players are quite low now. She could get something, and she does. Kelly, she drops Antika. Oh no, Kelly, that is absolutely disgusting. Team Expert, they're going to pick up the 2nd round, and on the back of a force buy.
That little bit of mouse and cat and gameplay does not go well for Zaz. Cindy will find the frag on turn in a 4v2 situation, but it's now a 4v3. Maybe refuses to die. The Dashka finds a shot to her, but Vilka comes in with a double kill. 1v1 situation, both of the players low. None of the players have armor. Just a couple of shots away from dying. What is happening here? Dashka needs to make a move for it, and she needs to make a move for it. Now Vilka's going to be ready for it. The triple comes in, and game point here for team. Dashka down, and that's a good frag. They know where she is, but can they put a stop to her? Antika known to connect madly, but she doesn't have armor, so armor punch is going to be a bitch indeed. Teddy brings her down. Zaz on the return. She and her teammate have armor. They can work this one out. They have a defuse kit as well. They just need to find the frags, and that they do. Maybe with the first one. Bloody Elf is all that remains, and I tell you, she wished she had a P90 now, but she can ask with the AK nonetheless. Sees where that smoke is coming out, and wow, nice clutch. 2 HP on her. 5-0 for London Conspiracy Man on the T side of train.
Yeah, I was thinking.
On the B site, and that's a round for London Conspiracy.
What felt better, winning the major or facing the pavement when you tried to throw hands IRL? Damn, bro. 100K in the pocket doesn't hurt.
Ooh, yeah. I told my 38 I love you.
I hate him. I'm not sure though.
Is he
never
mind.
Yeah,
Or something wrong.
That's nice.
Oh my god.
Good job, boys.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice flash, dude. Holy shit.
He was so blind, he ran so fast.
Mid ramp still.
I'm on A, guys.
Smoking door.
Out balcony, one out balcony. Dead. Okay.
Mine, right? Or...
Dead.
What the fuck? 24.
No scoping for Reddit. Oh my god, I got deleted.
Default. About to get fucked by everybody in like 2 seconds. So good. I think you heard flank. He's so good. He's close left on that smoke, 100%.
Devastated, I guess, because I should have won that.
Go through connector?
And come on,
Yeah.
bro, I don't lose those
Or-
except against Carrigan. But
I threw a random
yeah, I
flash.
lost that, and it was pretty devastating. And I'm
Be
pretty
another-
sure everyone knew that I was pretty disappointed in myself already.
outside the window.
So there's not much to say. I remember Tyler said, "Nice try."
What? No gun. You have no guns. No
way!
Oh. Why did you not peek on the round against Guardian? Well, it's because honestly the bomb was planted for CT. Tarek was in CT spawn. I didn't expect him to be like when he was
to the situation. They're already on the full sprint. Johnny Boy now. Oh, Cool doesn't really know if he's there or not. Oh, Johnny Boy has completely outplayed them. He's completely read the situation perfectly. This is brilliant. I love this right here by Johnny Boy.
I don't say anything.
I can find you through it if you want.
Who's clear?
Is clear?
Oh,
I have
Two spawn. Oh my god, one truck low and one
to just try and come in on the flank. I think Tabson has spotted his position. All the information is gathered, and the question is now, do they actually dedicate themselves to B? Do they continue the push, or are they actually going to look to rotate? And well, man, look.
settings and change the CPU clock ratio from auto to whatever you fancy. Now I'm going to go for 41, which is the multiplier, so that is how many times the host clock value or base clock we are multiplying to get our final CPU frequency. In this case I'm going with 41, just going to press enter, and that will be up to 4.1 gigahertz. Then go into the advanced voltage settings. And for me, I'm going to change the CPU V-core to 4.15 volts. Now this is because I've been playing around with this, and this is what I think is fairly decent and stable for this specific overclock. The best way to actually overclock these chips is to incrementally up the voltage and up the multiplier until it either crashes out and then you have to either decrease the multiplier or increase the voltage, or either just carry on going until you reach something like 1.45 volts or your temperatures get too high, so or 1.55 volts, sorry, which is AMD's recommended maximum. So that's what I'm going to go with for this overclock. We're going to hit F10 to save, and then we'll go back and do some stress testing. I'm going to start with Cinebench, as that's a very multi-threaded workload. You can also use Ada64 and a few other sort of CPU stress testing tools to make sure that your overclock is stable. If it isn't, come back into the BIOS and, as I said, either up the V-core voltage or push the multiplier down by 1 and see how that gets you, or even down by 0.5 and see where you go from there. Just a few kind of notes of advice. If you are planning on overclocking your chip, I do recommend taking a look at the maximum recommended voltage for it. That is kind of a key point, especially if you're not a professional overclocker and have LN2 available and stuff. If you're just doing it with your closed-loop water cooler, or even something like this, which is an air cooler, then I do recommend taking a look at the highest recommended voltage for that. The other thing to mention is that while I do highly recommend you overclock your chip, even if it's just by a couple hundred megahertz, that's effectively a free performance gain for you, and especially if you bought one of the Intel K-SKU chips, because you effectively paid for the ability to have that, because otherwise there isn't normally too much of a difference between the K and the non-K besides the ability to overclock. So I do recommend overclocking those sorts of chips, even again if it's just a few hundred megahertz, but at the same time it's still a fairly easy process to do, even on these newer chips. And as I said, I'm not a professional at this, so if I do get anything wrong, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, either way, that's my main recommendations. Make sure you don't run too hot. Make sure you don't run the voltage too high, which is kind of in contrast to too hot as well. And just give it a test. As I said, do incremental pushes, and you'll see how far you can go before it's just unstable. Make sure you test on multiple workloads as well before you consider a overclock stable. Don't just do Cinebench or Ada64 or whatever. Make sure you do a variety of different workloads, including gaming and stuff like that, to make sure everything else still works. Now, with some further testing, I believe that I can push this to 1.55 volts if I'm running at 4.15 gigahertz or 41.5 for the multiplier. This isn't quite stable, and it is definitely on the maximum range of the voltage if you're doing a standard overclock on a chip that you actually own and aren't a professional overclocker with LN2 and stuff like that. So this is where where I'm gonna go. I did try to push it to 4.2, but it just wasn't stable. It's still not quite stable at this frequency, but we'll give it a shot, try and get the best Cinebench value that we can, and then go from there. So after running at 4.15 gigahertz, and we did manage to get it stable at 1.55 volts, I managed to get a full run of 1780 on multi-threaded and 160 on the single-threaded, which is actually fairly impressive. It's still not quite as good as the 6700 and 7700Ks, especially on the single-threaded side. Although, of course, on the multi-threaded side, this is actually really impressive as a multi-threaded number. But the only thing is that the temperatures are getting relatively high. We're basically idling at 62 to 65 degrees with a around 70. Another thing to mention is that under full load, we're getting closer to 80 at this voltage. So I'm going to step it back down to 4.1 gigahertz at a tenth of a volt lower, so that's a little bit more stable. I did have a few issues even at 1.55 volts getting this one sorted. The maximum overclock I could get with this Ryzen 7 1800X on this Gigabyte AX370 Gaming 5 board was 4.15 gigahertz at 1.55 volts. Now 1.55 volts is actually fairly high. It's the maximum that AMD will allow you to go to in the Ryzen Master tool. So for me, I'm going to knock that back down to the more stable overclock of 4.1 GHz across all cores at 1.45 volts instead, which is a little bit more safe for the chip, a little bit better for its longevity and all that jazz. So that's the overclock that I'm going to go with for my full results, which you can see anytime now. Starting off with the synthetic benchmarks, as you can see, Cinebench R15 does a really good job of showing single-threaded performance here. I think the main difference is that because XFR is on and I'm only overclocking to 4.1 GHz, the single-core performance isn't that much different, but on multi-threaded you can see a pretty big difference there. In Asus Realbench, it's really quite impressive how far a lead this has. It looks to be mostly because of the CPU encoding or video encoding benchmark that it does that really kind of pulls it away here. But either way, it's a very interesting thing to see. I'm going to leave a full list of all of my benchmarks in a spreadsheet in the links in the description down below, so feel free to check that one out. In 3D Mark, the overclock score is almost identical to the 6900K, and of course, being a double price chip, the 6900K doesn't have too much of an advantage here, so that's quite nice. I think in GTA 5 there's still a lot of optimizations to be had. There's still a 14 FPS gap there between the 1800X and the 7700K, even with the overclock. So something to be aware of in the revisiting that I'm going to do in a couple months time. And I'm also going to try and get my hands back on a 6900K for that revisit as well, so that I can get overclocking results for that too. And same kind of story with Dirt Rally, there's still a 3 FPS difference here, but still interesting to look at. I think my conclusion for the video is that we've definitely returned to the days of the Silicon Lottery. Some of the overclockers at AMD's own event managed to break a world record for running, I believe, all 8 cores at 5.2 GHz, I think it was. I could be wrong on that, and I'll leave a link to an article that will explain that in the description down below. But either way, they broke a world record there, which is really impressive, but at the same time, my chip, if I try to go 4.2 GHz even at 1.55 volts, it will just straight up not work. Now, to make it clear, I'm not an experienced overclocker, so I could be doing something wrong here. I could just be a complete idiot. So if you have any experience in overclocking, especially if you get your hands on one of these chips, let me know what you managed to overclock to safely or unsafely, if you like, in the comments down below or on Facebook and Twitter. But I guess that kind of wraps that up, really. So if you enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and share the video as well. That's the best thing you can do for free as such. If you fancy picking up a Ryzen 7 CPU or any of the other Ryzen CPUs as they come out, or just anything else, it'd be awesome if you could use the affiliate links in the description down below. It genuinely helps me out. It supports the channel, supports these videos and all that sort of stuff. So if you use those would be awesome. Also, as I said, feel free to check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Otherwise, I'll leave some videos over here for you, and the subscribe button on this side of the screen. And otherwise, yeah, I guess that's kind of it. So thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it and found it useful, and we'll see you all in the next video.
Welcome to PC Wiz Kids Tech Talk. Today we're looking at my Ryzen 7 1800X overclocking. Basically what I did on this system build. Amazing PC that I put together here. If you haven't watched part 1 and part 2, I'll add the link so you can access those to see how I put it together and some benchmarks as well. Now, one of the things that I really need to point out that's important about this is the motherboard. Without a good motherboard, you really can't overclock properly. The MSI X-Power Gaming Titanium has the AMD X370 chipset. That chipset is optimized for overclocking. It is the power enthusiast type of motherboard you would want to get. It doesn't have to be an MSI brand, it could be any other brand, but just make sure that you get the X370 chipset. Any other chipset might not have all the adequate overclocking options and tweaking involved. Now, paired with this, I've got obviously the Evo X memory from Gil. I talked about that previously in my part 1 and part 2. And the Cooler Master Master Liquid 240, the radiator, as you can see there, cooling off the CPU. Now, all of that together gives me a higher chance of overclocking. Not everybody is going to be able to overclock properly or even overclock at all. It all depends. Plus, there are risks involved. You could damage your system. So please be warned that by doing this, you take full responsibility. Now, I'm going to show you what's available here in the MSI Click Bias 5 that I have. It actually comes prepared and enabled for you to overclock. So it's really amazing that manufacturers will now give you the overclocking options. They will give you the capability to easily do that. Right now we're looking at the easy mode screens in the BIOS to make it simple. Now I don't like using these easy modes. I like using the advanced mode. So you can see on the top of the screen there it says advanced F7. So if I hit F7, then it's going to switch this mode into an expert mode basically, so I can get into the fine details on what to tweak. Otherwise the easy mode doesn't show you those options, and then you're going to be wondering, well, where is everything? I don't see the same options. Well, make sure you're in the advanced mode. Once you're in the advanced mode, I clicked on OC on the side here on that button, and then I got the overclocking settings. You can see there it says expert at the top. The CPU frequency, I scroll down to that, I hit enter, and I put in 41, which is 41 times the base clock. So 41 times 100 is 4100, and that's where I am at. Now there are other settings that you can set as well, such as I've seen people disable the CPU spread spectrum, increasing the load line calibration to a higher mode that will give some more power there. Disable CPU turbo mode so that way you're locking it in to that frequency and there's no throttling going around. Especially the power saving options, if you disable those, that'll help less throttling. And increasing the voltages, I've seen people increase those in small increments to give a little bit more juice basically, because you know, as you overclock you need a higher voltage, and that's what I had to do, right? I had to increase the voltage for the CPU. Now as you can see on the screen, going further down the list, the DRAM frequency that I set to is 2667. Okay, so I did not use the XMP profile. You can see there it says disabled. Usually you would enable that. Okay, now on most boards, if they have a good BIOS update, they have you know, supported all these different memory configurations, you wouldn't have to go in and say, okay, what memory frequency do I want this at? What are the timings? But in my case, I had to because
Witam Was bardzo serdecznie, ponieważ w moje ręce trafiła niedawno płyta Biostar X370 GT7. Postanowiłem, że na jej bazie zrobię dla Was poradnik, jak podkręcić procesor Ryzen. Będzie to poradnik dla osób początkujących. Nie będę robił pełnej recenzji, moim zdaniem nie ma sensu, bo recenzję niedawno robił Rafał z kanału Videoblog Tech, także dam linka do tej recenzji w opisie tego filmiku, możecie sobie zerknąć, jak to wszystko wygląda. I ja tylko Wam pokażę i omówię te najważniejsze aspekty tej płyty głównej, także zrobiłem kilka przebitek, za chwilkę je zobaczycie, a później przejdziemy już do konkretów, czyli do samego poradnika, jak podkręcić procesor Ryzen. W tym przypadku będzie to Ryzen 7 1700X. Płytka drukowana Biostara X370 GT7 jest czarna i do tego matowa, a na jej środku znajdziemy drukowaną flagę racingową nawiązującą do nazwy płyty. Na wyróżnienie zasługuje mocna sekcja zasilania 6+2 fazy, z czego 4 z głównych faz posiadają dublery. Warto wspomnieć, że są tutaj zastosowane 60A VRM-y, także sekcja to najwyższa półka cenowa. Płyta posiada 3 sloty PCI Express ×16 działające z szybkościami ×16, ×8, ×4. Mamy również wsparcie dla trybu Crossfire. Nie zabrakło slotu na dyski M2 z interfejsem NVMe. Co ważne, mamy tutaj również solidny radiator z thermalpadem, pomagający odprowadzić ciepło z dysku SSD. Układ audio jest umieszczony na odizolowanej części PCB płyty głównej, dodatkowo zasłonięty plastikową osłoną z diodami LED. Na płycie znajdziemy 6 portów SATA w standardzie 3.0, również 2 wyjścia USB 3.1 na przednim panelu obudowy, jak i 2 wyjścia USB w standardzie 2.0. Płyta wyposażona również jest w wyświetlacz błędów, który pomoże nam zinterpretować ewentualny problem. Gdyby nie wystarczyło Wam podświetlanie RGB wbudowane na płytę główną, możecie podłączyć pod nią dodatkowe paski LED. Na prawej krawędzi płyty znajdziemy panel dotykowy z przyciskami Power, Reset, jak i również 2 tryby Eco i Sport. Sport służy do zwiększenia wydajności systemu i dzięki niemu płyta utrzyma możliwie najwyższe zegary procesora, natomiast w trybie Eco płyta będzie się starała zaoszczędzić jak najwięcej energii. Co ważne, Biostar X370 GT7 wyposażony jest w 2 BIOSy, przełączamy je za pomocą suwaka na płycie głównej. Znalazło się również coś dla miłośników podkręcania na ciekłym azocie. Mamy przełącznik do trybu LN2. Na panelu wyjść znajdziemy m.in. wyjścia wideo, 5 portów USB 3.1, USB typu C w standardzie 3.1 generacji drugiej, kartę sieciową oraz wyjścia od układu audio. A teraz kilka słów na temat podświetlenia RGB na płycie głównej. Możecie nim zarządzać za pomocą softu Racing GT. A tak wygląda to w praktyce, czyli dostępna spora gama kolorów, które możecie dopasować chociażby pod kolor Waszej obudowy czy też karty graficznej. I co ważne, jeden wyposażenia od pomocą softu gama kolorów, które możecie dopasować chociażby pod kolor Waszej obudowy czy też karty graficznej. I co ważne, podświetlenie możecie również wyłączyć. A teraz przejdźmy już do BIOSu i do podkręcania. W tym przypadku interesuje nas zakładka One. W niej mamy wszystkie nas interesujące opcje. Natomiast na innych płytach nazwa tych zakładek może być troszeczkę inna. Na przykład w płytach MSI to po prostu OC, w płytach Asus to AI Tweaker, a w płytach Gigabyte MIT. Tak naprawdę interesują nas 4 wartości. CPU ratio, czyli tak zwany mnożnik procesora. Na innych płytach również może troszeczkę inaczej wyglądać i chociażby w płytach MSI nazywa się to CPU frequency. Druga wartość to memory clock, czyli taktowanie pamięci RAM. Kolejna opcja to napięcie procesora, czyli CPU core voltage i ostatnia to napięcie pamięci RAM. I jest jeszcze jedna zakładka Load Line Calibration. Tutaj macie kilka poziomów do zmiany. Chodzi o to, że po ustawieniu danego poziomu inaczej zachowa się napięcie na procesorze. Powiedzmy, ustawiając poziom pierwszy, napięcie będzie bardziej stabilne i mniejsze będą jego spadki, natomiast na poziomie 6 napięcie będzie spadało do niższych wartości. Na tej płycie akurat to nie działa, więc temat odpuszczamy. Przejdźmy teraz do mnożnika procesora. Większość procesorów Ryzen powinniście być w stanie podkręcić w zakresie 3,8 do 4,1 GHz. Oczywiście zależy to w dużej mierze od sztuki procesora i płyty głównej. Ja ustawię mnożnik 38, co da nam taktowanie 3,8 GHz. W zakładce Memory Clock możecie wybrać wbudowany profil XMP, ale w większości przypadków, w większości płyt głównych niestety to nie działa i lepiej ustawić ich taktowanie manualnie. Po wybraniu tej opcji pojawia się kolejna zakładka, w której ustawiacie pożądane taktowanie pamięci RAM. Taktowanie RAM zależy tutaj w dużej mierze oczywiście od płyt, jaką posiadacie i od samych pamięci. W niektórych przypadkach powinno dać radę ustawić taktowanie RAM na 2933 MHz, w niektórych na 3200, a w wielu tylko na 2666. Dobrym przykładem jest ta płyta, gdzie pamięci nie idą wyżej jak właśnie na 2666 MHz, a próbowałem 3 różnych zestawów pamięci RAM. Przełącznik zakładek może i co ważne, podświetlenie możecie również wyłączyć. A teraz przejdźmy już do BIOSu i do podkręcania. W tym przypadku interesuje nas zakładka One. W niej mamy wszystkie nas interesujące opcje. Natomiast na innych płytach nazwa tych zakładek może być troszeczkę inna. Na przykład w płytach MSI to po prostu OC, w płytach Asus to AI Tweaker, a w płytach Gigabyte MIT. Tak naprawdę interesują nas 4 wartości. CPU ratio, czyli tak zwany mnożnik procesora. Na innych płytach również może troszeczkę inaczej wyglądać i chociażby w płytach MSI nazywa się to CPU frequency. Druga wartość to memory clock, czyli taktowanie pamięci RAM. Kolejna opcja to napięcie procesora, czyli CPU core voltage i ostatnia to napięcie pamięci RAM. I jest jeszcze jedna zakładka Load Line Calibration. Tutaj macie kilka poziomów do zmiany. Chodzi o to, że po ustawieniu danego poziomu inaczej zachowa się napięcie na procesorze. Powiedzmy, ustawiając poziom pierwszy, napięcie będzie bardziej stabilne i mniejsze będą jego spadki, natomiast na poziomie 6 napięcie będzie spadało do niższych wartości. Na tej płycie akurat to nie działa, więc temat odpuszczamy. Przejdźmy teraz do mnożnika procesora. Większość procesorów Ryzen powinniście być w stanie podkręcić w zakresie 3,8 do 4,1 GHz. Oczywiście zależy to w dużej mierze od sztuki procesora i płyty głównej. Ja ustawię mnożnik 38, co da nam taktowanie 3,8 GHz. W zakładce Memory Clock możecie wybrać wbudowany profil XMP, ale w większości przypadków, w większości płyt głównych niestety to nie działa i lepiej ustawić ich taktowanie manualnie. Po wybraniu tej opcji pojawia się kolejna zakładka, w której ustawiacie pożądane taktowanie pamięci RAM. Taktowanie RAM zależy tutaj w dużej mierze oczywiście od płyt, jaką posiadacie i od samych pamięci. W niektórych przypadkach powinno dać radę ustawić taktowanie RAM na 2933 MHz, w niektórych na 3200, a w wielu tylko na 2666. Dobrym przykładem jest ta płyta, gdzie pamięci nie idą wyżej jak właśnie na 2666 MHz, a próbowałem 3 różnych zestawów pamięci RAM. Kolejna zakładka dotyczy napięcia procesora. Tutaj macie opcję ustawienia napięcia na sztywno, tak zwany override mode, lub też na adaptive czy offset jak na innych płytach, czyli napięcie będzie spadało wraz ze spadkiem taktowania procesora. Natomiast na tańszych płytach, zwłaszcza B350, nie macie takiego wyboru i możecie zmienić napięcie tylko i wyłącznie manualnie. Na początek proponuję Wam ustawić napięcie na sztywno i znaleźć maksymalne zegary dla Waszego procesora. Dopiero później możecie bawić się opcją adaptive czy też offset i pamiętajcie, że każda płyta ustawia wartości inaczej, także bądźcie z tym ostrożni. Ta płyta niestety zaniża sporo wartości napięcia już po zalogowaniu się do Windowsa, dlatego też ustawię wartość 1,4 V, co da mi około 1,36 V pod samym Windowsem. Jak mówiłem wcześniej, LLC w tym przypadku nic nie zmienia, także nie będę tej opcji ustawiał i nie zalecam również używać większego napięcia jak 1,4 V na co dzień, choć według AMD 1,45 V nie stanowi żadnego problemu. Pamiętajcie jednak, że im wyższe napięcie, tym wyższe temperatury procesora. Teraz przejdziemy do zmiany napięcia pamięci RAM. Zazwyczaj na innych płytach mamy do wyboru gotowe wartości napięć, niestety inaczej jest w tym przypadku i musimy dodać odpowiednią wartość do standardowego napięcia pamięci, a przypomnę, że dla DDR4 jest to 1,2 V. Także jeżeli chcemy powiedzmy ustawić napięcie 1,35 V, musimy dodać tutaj wartość 0,156 V. Akurat moje pamięci przy taktowaniu 2666 MHz potrzebują standardowego napięcia, dlatego też tą opcję ustawiam na auto. Ale w Waszym przypadku może być inaczej, najlepiej sugerować się napięciami podawanymi przez producenta pamięci. Teraz wystarczy wcisnąć F10, zapisać zmiany i zbootować system. Zaraz na początku proponuję uruchomić program CPU-Z i sprawdzić, jakie napięcia płyta główna na procesorze ustawiła. To, o czym mówiłem Wam wcześniej, w tym przypadku po ustawieniu napięcia 1,4 V w BIOSie pod Windowsem mamy 1,36 V. Następnie uruchamiacie jakiś program do testowania stabilności, ja używam akurat OCCT i sprawdzacie, czy przez powiedzmy godzinę nie wyskoczy jakiś błąd. Jeżeli program nie wykrył żadnych błędów, to idziecie po raz kolejny do BIOS i podbijacie taktowanie procesora, lub jeśli program wykrył błędy, obniżacie taktowanie lub podbijacie napięcie procesora na wyższe. I ponownie testujecie stabilność procesora. Oczywiście, żeby mieć 100% pewność, że procesor jest stabilny, trzeba wykonać taki test przez kilka godzin. Co do temperatur, nie proponuję na co dzień przekraczać 80 stopni Celsjusza, natomiast max to 85. Oczywiście im mniej, tym lepiej i oczywiście musicie mieć odpowiednie chłodzenie.
Okay, so we're gonna click that. Let's make this bigger. And what you see here is a plus and minus sign. Okay, and the minus sign will let you zoom out to the full log. Okay, and this is all the history since you've turned on this program. Okay, now you can also go and press the plus sign to zoom in of the current activity of the processor also. All right, and this one here is a clear log button, and you click this and the whole log will clear itself. Okay, and it will start a fresh monitoring. Okay, graph. All right, so each line has a different color or a unique color, and that represents each core that the Ryzen 7 1700 has. Okay, we have a speed tab right here. Okay, and you can shut it on or off. The speed graph is up top and the temperature graph is at the bottom right here. So if you don't want the graphs active, you can always shut them off. Okay, you can shut off the temperature one.
Siema, z tej strony. Także jeżeli wam pomogłem tymi ustawieniami, to zostawcie łapeczkę. No a teraz zaczynamy. Przechodzimy sobie do ustawień 3D, no i pierwsza rzecz jaką robimy, to przesuwamy ten suwak oczywiście pod wydajność. Stosuj preferencje użytkownika, podkreślając wydajność. I ja domyślnie miałem ustawione jako jakość, ale wy możecie mieć po prostu tu na środku jako zrównoważone. No niemniej jednak ustawcie sobie wydajność, a to na pewno poprawi. Może nie grafikę, może grafika coś minimalnie się zmniejszy, ale za to FPS-y na pewno wzrosną, to wam gwarantuję. Dalej, zarządzanie ustawieniami 3D. No i tutaj już trudniejsze rzeczy się zaczynają, no ale myślę, że sobie poradzimy. Pierwsza rzecz, jaka nas interesuje, to filtrowanie tekstur i jakość, no i oczywiście ustawiamy wysoką wydajność. Dalej, ja tutaj sobie ustawiłem karta graficzna renderująca OpenGL, to jest moja karta graficzna. Maksymalna liczba wstępnie renderowanych klatek, no to oczywiście 4, jak największa. Co tutaj dalej? Synchronizacja pionowa musi być koniecznie wyłączona, to jest przeważnie z naciskiem na CSGO, gdyż tam synchronizacja pionowa powoduje jakiegoś laga, o ile się nie mylę. Nie wiem dokładnie na czym to polega, ale po prostu dosłownie każdy wam powie, że synchronizacja pionowa ma być wyłączona. Dalej, tryb zarządzania energią. Preferuj maksymalną wydajność oczywiście tutaj wybieramy, no i tutaj tak samo 4 klatki. I to już wszystko wyłączone do końca. Ustawienia programu. Co tutaj się dzieje? Wybieracie sobie oczywiście CSGO, no i po prostu ustawienia globalne wam dobierze do niego. Ja tutaj sobie jeszcze dla pewności poustawiałem to wszystko, co mam w ustawieniach globalnych, ale po prostu jeśli wybierzecie tu CSGO na przykład, załóżmy, albo inną grę, no to przeniesie wam te ustawienia, co macie tu, właśnie na ustawienia programu, także ten program będzie się już głównie skupiał na wydajności, czyli ja już CSGO mam po prostu ustawiony pod wydajność. No i co? Tutaj ustawienia kolorów pulpitu. Ja sobie tutaj dałem 100, gdyż wtedy naprawdę kolory są bardzo przejrzyste, są mocne i dużo rzeczy widać. Naprawdę dużo więcej rzeczy widać i moja gra w CS-a się znacznie poprawiła. No i co tu jeszcze? Co tu jeszcze? Oczywiście dajemy sobie tutaj pełny ekran, procesor graficzny, no i powin, tryb skalowania ustawiony przez gry i programy. No i co? To było tyle z NVIDII, gdyż chyba to już jest wszystko, co możecie zrobić, wszystko, co możecie wyciągnąć, ale przechodzimy sobie jeszcze tutaj ustawienia zasilania i uśpienia. Dodatkowe ustawienia zasilania, no i tutaj oczywiście być może będziecie mieć ustawione na zrównoważony, no raczej na pewno, ale ustawcie sobie po prostu wysoka wydajność, no i już komputer na pewno będzie lepiej pracował i szybciej. I jeszcze tutaj oczywiście panel sterowania. Zrównoważony, no, dodatkowe ustawienia zasilania, no i tutaj oczywiście być może będziecie mieć ustawione na zrównoważony, no raczej na pewno, ale ustawcie sobie po prostu wysoka wydajność, no i już komputer na pewno będzie lepiej pracował i szybciej. I jeszcze tutaj oczywiście panel sterowania. System zabezpieczenia, system i tu wydajność. Dajcie sobie dla najlepszej wydajności, ale polecam wygłać krawędzie czcionek ekranowych, gdyż po prostu jeśli odznaczycie tą opcję, to czcionka waszego pulpitu i w ogóle reszty rzeczy będzie wyglądała jak z Windowsa 9.8. System zabezpieczenia, system i tu wydajność. Dajcie sobie dla najlepszej wydajności, ale polecam wygłać krawędzie czcionek ekranowych, gdyż po prostu jeśli odznaczycie tą opcję, to czcionka waszego pulpitu i do... No a w tym może nie zaczyna ta gra pionowa, sobie tutaj stawiałem to program kolorów znaczy co odtania i uśpienia. Tutaj ustawienia zasilania i zasilania, no i tu zasilania i uśpienia. Dodatkowe ustawienia zasilania. wyjaśniania, no i tutaj